On the table, you see a bowl of water, a rough soap, and next to it, a small hand mirror. A straight razor soaks inside the wash basin. The water reflects back a vague image of your face. Nose bulbous and red, hair unkempt, wrinkles lining the eyes and forehead. The stash is gigantic. You'll be looking like a pansy without the chops. A fucking pansy. An old mirror hangs on the wall. You see the reflection of your face in it, adorned with the expression.
Yes?
The lieutenant's posture becomes rigid and uncomfortable as you lean forward and sniff the area just above his shoulder blade. The lieutenant is fastidious as a cat in matters of his personal upkeep. And yet, in the folds of his jacket, you can just perceive the stale and acrid traces of oil Wait. There's something else there. Something that sets your GABA receptors. The lieutenant's aftershave, a common drugstore brand. Strong hints of pine needle. But what sort of ideological picture do these smells paint? Tough to say.
Do you need something, detective? It's nothing fancy, just plain old Tiger Super Special. Are you thinking of, you know?
The lieutenant considers your mutton chops for a long moment. A slight grimace crosses his face.
Sorry, I'm really no expert on this. Was there something else you wish to discuss?
Our tenant, the policeman, I hope I can wash it for you. But it's going to take about a half an hour.
No, we must run around ceaselessly. It would be torture to stay.
I could use a breather before another rainy day begins.
Well, hand it over then, and I'll see what I can do. Must say, I'm proud of this one. It's pretty nice underneath all that filth. I hope you'll have an easier life in your hands.
Hey, tequila! Good to see you. How's business? How's the whole reality situation treating you. So what's happening? Yeah, Tequila Sunset. How are the, high-concept, reality-based adventures proceeding?
Good. These people know your true name. Looks like it has preceded you, Mr. Sunset. More on that later.
I know what you mean. Sitting around with these bums, you really get to know the nitty-gritty of reality. And it isn't good. Things aren't going super well for Idiot Doom Spiral either. Haven't found those keys yet, haven't won that great piece of ass back. No word from my business buddies.
Idiot Doom Spiral, huh? This is bound to be a good, high-concept conversation. At last.
We are saving the world.
Please don't go. Don't go.
Okay, we're drinking. We're drinking alcohol. That's what we're doing. I tried to save the world once, a long time ago, with enterprise, creativity, and willpower. But that didn't work out. So now, it's a pirate's life for me. It's you. You're Tequila Sunset. We've met before. Don't you remember? Aha. Do you want to know how Tequila Sunset came to be?
Tequila Sunset. Something ominous there.
Let me take a sip to moisten up my chords. Tequila Sunset rolled into Martinez last Friday, and by Tequila Sunset, I mean you. The man, the myth. Hey, let's not jump ahead of ourselves. This is your story. Stop interrupting. You got here on Friday to solve a case, hoping to be the early bird who gets the worm. And by the worm, I mean the buzz. Because as far as I know, all you did was get piss drunk. Word on the street is you went around the local hostel telling people that you're a police officer, and that it would be really fucked up if you shot yourself in the head, right in front of them. That's pretty high concept, if you ask me.
It is. Oh yeah, that's totally your style. The lieutenant's brow is furrowed. He's listening as casually as he can.
It was a late Saturday night when we, the Union of Moribund Alcoholics, were getting our drink on. Nothing remarkable about this, we get our drink on 24/7. Makes everything warm and glowy. I trust you know the feeling. One moment we hear the sound of a motor carriage revving up somewhere on the plaza, followed by a series of dings and bangs.
Do you remember the sound of wood cracking? The billboard?
Naturally, loud noises pique the interest of anybody owning a pair of ears. That's just the reality we're in. Anyway, there was a brief silence, a gasp of silence, if you will, followed by a real commotion. We heard the carriage careening towards the coast at top speed. Sounded like someone jumped the canal, We grabbed our brewskis and rushed to the jetty. Never underestimate the speed of an alcoholic.
3 men are standing on a wooden platform extending out from the shore of a dilapidated fishing village. Their cheeks red, spirits high, beers in hand, eyes glazed.
What we saw was a sight to behold. A beat-up police carriage containing you. Right there on the beach. You revved the engine and screamed at the top of your lungs. "The time hath come!" So, naturally, being the curious cat I am, I asked what time hath come. To which you replied, "The time hath come for tequila sunset, the end of all things." After which, your reality contracted. You jammed the pedal, plowed right off the jetty, and through the ice.
Your hands cramp on the steering levers.
We ran towards the ice, whilst you crawled your way out, miraculously unhurt, covered in seaweed and shit, like some kind of sea monster. When we finally got there, you were sitting on the beach crying. You said that your badge and uniform were in the car. It was too late to get in there, though. The carriage had sunk too deep. Recognizing a brother in need, we offered our condolences and invited you to party with us, which you naturally agreed to. We asked about the whole tequila sunset thing, and you told us it was your name now and insisted that we all call you that from then on. I'm not sure. I think you were the event. Tequila sunset. You know, as opposed to a tequila sunrise, which is long gone. Yeah, I agree. Hours. It was an all-night drink-a-thon. Then, at some point, I think it was Sunday morning, you got belligerent and wanted to talk about Revacholian women. How they're beautiful and also whores and so on. How one of them fucked you real bad. After a short while, you crossed the event horizon, looked sullen, got up, and left with...
Wow, that's quite a story.
Yeah, I bet Tequila's a fucking legend around the precinct. You must be proud to work with him.
If you only knew.
You were pretty vague about it, but you kept saying you got fucked real hard, and that we've all been fucked.
Please, don't open that door.
No one's fucked me. I do the fucking around here.
Abigail!
It seemed pretty painful, to be honest with you. If I had to guess, I'd say you're beside your gun and your badge. You said something about your hope or heart or something. To be honest, the details are a little hazy. In retrospect, I guess you lost your motor carriage too? That's a big one. You told us that they were a bunch of fucking losers whose main interest was cramping your style. No specifics, though. It was more about you that night. You were the star of the show. Yeah, you said it was no biggie and that you'd solve it in no time. And that you didn't need anyone to do it.
A lot of cops go solo and hermit once they reach that level of alcoholism.
Yeah, you kept talking about how the coal mine owners were fucking us all. I didn't agree with you, by the way. The spectral hand of the market makes sure everyone gets exactly what they deserve. You kept apologizing for being such a bad cop, and for the damage you've inflicted on every... You also kept pausing to knock the heel of your hand against your temples, saying, "Stupid, stupid, stupid." It's a hard thing for a man to confront his past. That's why I avoid mine at all costs. Whoop-de-doo. So now I'm a fucking storyteller. Right, why not? Better than a beach bum. It depends, really.
The gleam in his eyes and the slouch in his posture is so incredibly familiar. You might get scammed here.
No, the reality of the situation requires a rather modest contribution. I don't want it, man. I need it. Can't tell stories without it. Dry stories are boring, you see? So, have you got anything for good old idiot Doom Spiral? A bottle for a story. Seems fair to me. Not much, but it will do.
Hey, Spiral Boy, you gonna share that?
Don't call Abigail!
Shut up, guys. I'm telling a story here. Something happened to you. Something happened to me, too. My actual name is George, but around here, you already... I was once a reasonably high net worth individual. A founder/junior partner at a high-concept creative services agency. When my story begins, I had just landed I used the profits from my agency to finance what I called a cultural incubator. Abstract value generation, value per person, I developed the paradigm, worked within the paradigm, but the burden of leadership weighed heavily on me. So I went jogging every so often to keep myself sane. 22 full-time employees, an all-star team, a potentially historical set of individuals. Worrying about them often kept me up well into the morning hours. It did. With my trusty Sansarique tracksuit, I felt like I could conquer the world. But now dreams are worn thin, much like my tracksuit. One day I left on my evening run. As you may know, it's impossible to clear your head when you're distracted by the sound of keys jangling in your pockets.
His eyes are clouded, his dilated blood vessels encircling his irises like stinging brambles. His eyes are your eyes.
So I removed the key ring and put the keys for the front gate and the apartment into different pockets to stop the jangling, you see. At least, that was the plan. I was halfway done with my usual lap when it started to rain. The reality situation became very wet. Wet, okay? It was raining really hard. I made my way back home and discovered that I didn't have the key to the front gate. I'd mixed it up with the key to the letter. Naturally, the situation required me to climb over the gate, which I did. There was no climbing down because I slipped and landed on my ass.
No, you don't.
Whatever. The point is, reality was looking rather grim just then. Me lying on my ass in a mud pit in the middle of a heavy shower. But when life knocked me down, I always got up. So I made my way across the yard. Standing in front of my apartment door, fumbling with my pockets, I realized I wish I were Tequila. I wish I were. Instead of my apartment key, I'd taken the key to the office. I rang my neighbor's buzzers. It was late, and most of them didn't even answer. Those who did assumed I was trying to sell them something and hung up before I could even explain the situation. People are naturally wary of ad men, you see. One moment someone chats you up, 5 minutes later you've bought a box of edible lingerie and a strap-on. I don't begrudge them, especially since I was known to be one. Just then, I experienced a moment of clarity. I still had the key to my office. I could wait out the storm there. But when I reached my office, I remembered that I'd asked one of my producers to change the locks that day. And since I hired only the best, he'd already done it, and I couldn't get in. Anyway, long story short, life spiraled out of control. I haven't gotten into my apartment for years, and my girlfriend left me because she didn't want to date a homeless man. The company, well, you see where I'm going with this.
He pinches his thigh as if to check whether this reality is the reality.
So, now you've heard my tragic tale. What do you think? Like nothing you've ever heard, huh? Tequila, I've thought about this series of events for a long time. If there was anything else to it, I would have thought of it by now.
Why didn't you go to the authorities?
Well, at one point they came to me, but, you know, I didn't have any ID on me, so they tossed me in jail for 2 days. I can't say it increased my faith in the RCM. No offense, gentlemen. Yeah, maybe I've exaggerated certain parts over the years. When you tell a story too often, it begins to take on a life. But what matters is that it's true to my subjective experience. Anyway.
Truly, he has the soul of an artist.
Good fucking question, Tequila. If I knew the answer, you think I'd be hanging out on a beach in this formerly premium but now extremely dirty two-piece lycra tracksuit? I used to own my reality situation. My business buddies and I had our own creative services agency. I had a nice apartment, an even nicer piece of ass. Now I can't hang on to anything. Just last week I stole this nice new jacket, but then I lost it too. The only things I haven't lost are these two drunks. My agency. Man. The Boom Boom Room. Our concept was combining. I convinced my partners to reinvest some of our profits in an even more high-concept cultural incubator called Thin. I was financing a group of poets in East Revachol who were developing a new universal poetic language.
Sounds intriguing. What if it sounds like it makes no sense? That's because it doesn't.
Well, you know, sex sells. That's the first rule of advertising. Maybe you're right. Who knows? Maybe we were behind the curtain. What? You've never seen 100% lycra before? Go on, feel that primo material.
You really shouldn't touch it.
Pretty nice, huh? This might be one of the last of its kind.
Good God. It's nearly impossible to describe how dirty this texture is. It's like rubbing two jellyfish skins together. You feel about 15% less human. Randomized trials have also found lycra, TM, to be associated with a number of exotic, highly malignant cancers. So you also have that. And then there's the smell. But you don't even want to.
Wow, you're lucky. He never lets me feel it.
That's because your paws are fucking filthy, Rosie. We're right next to the bay. You could wash them any time. My fellow members of the Union of Moribund Alcoholics?
Hey, Tequila! You want to buy some speed?
Shut the fuck up, Rosemary. He's a cop, remember?
I thought he was a cool cop.
Don't call Abigail.
And this is Abs. So yeah, that's basically us. We drink together. Tequila, It's a verifiable tragedy. It was practically brand new. Say, you're a detective, right? Maybe you can help old Doom Spiral out. Solve the case of the missing jacket. What do you... Nah, this isn't it. Found? That's medium concept stuff. Totally not my style. It's a big world out there, Tequila. Lot of lost jackets in it. No.
Hey, Doom Spiral. Ain't that the jacket you stole the other week?
Not on your fucking life, Rosemary. What's wrong with you people? Like I'd be... Tell you what, Tequila. Why don't you just hang on to that one? I'll get another jacket. Someday.
At least you got a nice jacket for your troubles.
What's it about? I'll let... Maybe you've heard. I used to be a very successful businessman. I've signed more than a few lease forms or whatever the fuck they were. All right. Hey, Abs.
Don't you? You call Abigail?
I need you to sign this document right here. It's important.
Don't call her.
Don't call Abigail. Great job, Abs. Nailed it. Don't know if I've mentioned it, but I used to be a businessman. And as a businessman, I am going to keep the pen. For my trouble. Hey, guys. We're...
About fucking time, man. I've done my duty.
Don't call Abigail.
Thank you for your services, gentlemen. Should we go and mail this? I think I saw a mailbox on the plaza.
Okay, what's on your mind? I do. But as you can see, my fuel tank is running quite low. If you catch me. Classy. The tale I'm about to tell you is an urban legend particular to Martinez. That said, I first heard it from a former bicycle courier in Coran. There are many variations on the basic story, and the details often conflict. What everyone agrees on is...
Are you telling the story of the headless...
Shut the fuck up, Rosemary. Summer of 44. 17-year-old Gertrude Het is walking home from a late shift at the harbor.
The streets are warmed by a southerly breeze. The lights of a passing motor carriage bloom and fade in the distance. In the harbor's dark, her cigarette is a beacon, dancing alone.
Our heroine finds herself enjoying the peace and quiet the canal provides. What she doesn't know is that her peace is about to be shattered. From behind her comes the clattering of hooves. Startled, she turns around, and what does she see? A headless man, wearing a fawn tracksuit, riding a horse. That's right. It's the headless fawn rider, rumored to be searching for his legendary fawn cap that went missing when he lost his head. If I hadn't lost my keys that one time, I'd agree with you. But life is a cruel mistress. Gertrude Het may have been the first to witness the headless fawn rider, but she wasn't the last. Oh no.
Tell him about the two feminists by the locks.
Fuck, Rosemary, they were dating. No one said they were feminists. Everyone always misremembering this stuff.
This wouldn't be the De Ponte Delgado case, would it?
What? You know it.
I've read the case file. But please, go on.
Right. Early autumn of 46. Ula de Ponte and Eva Delgado are fishing near the waterlock long after the sun has set. The wind picks up. A sky already dark now blackens. Water starts falling from above. The first...
Two women stand on a small outcropping of rocks. One of them is wearing a purple raincoat. Thin lines reach out from the rods into the sea.
The women are caught in the downpour. They act quickly. Eva gathers the rods whilst Ula turns around to reach for the tackle box.
Don't turn around. Don't turn around.
When she sees something, her shriek is so violent that the residents of the nearby apartment building believe. But there is no lightning. Only a heavy downpour and the silhouette of the headless Faun Rider looming on the horizon. Ula makes a run for the shore, but Eva slips on a wet rock and disappears into the cold, cold canal with nary a sound. Her body is never recovered.
Naturally, Ula De Ponte became the prime suspect in the disappearance of Eva Delgado. De Ponte maintained that it was the so-called headless Faun Rider and that she ran fearing for her life. During the investigation, it became apparent that there was a love triangle, the third party being some small-time businessman. I don't remember the exact details. The leading theory was that an argument broke out on the jetty and De Ponte pushed Delgado into the canal, then cooked up this stupid cover story. No, she committed suicide before she could be taken into custody. They found her in the bathroom with a rifle, her face slowly peeling off the ceiling. Not a pretty scene.
Man, that's some grisly detail. Oh well, here's to another case closed. Anyway, that's the story of the headless Faun Rider. Pretty crazy, huh? Well, Tequila, that's part of the legend. No one knows for sure. Some say he was an undercover cop who blew his cover and got beheaded by the vicious gang. Others claim he was a professional jockey who veered off course during a steeplechase, ended up in somebody's backyard, and got decapitated by an exceptionally taut clothesline.
Even decapitation couldn't stop his commitment to the sport. Are you that committed?
Personally, I think he was just some guy who hanged himself from a really tall tree, and the fall was so violent that his head came clean off. Coincidentally, at that exact moment, a horse happened to pass under him, and his beheaded corpse mounted it, where it remains to this day. But then, no one really knows.
For some reason, this does strike you as the most plausible theory of them all.
Isn't it? All the pieces fit together perfectly. That's... Anyway, to each his own. You want to hear any other stories? Yeah? Why don't you go eat shit, Tequila? There's no way you know a better one than that. I have to admit, that's pretty high concept. Still not as awesome as a headless rider in a Faun tracksuit, though. Yeah? Acid gnomes? Sounds like a stupid...
Hard to argue with that, I suppose.
That's the reality situation for you. You think you got a handle on it, then blam! It throws some wild shit at you. No one knows. Some say he stalks Martinez to this day, and can be seen near the canal when the clock strikes midnight.
He won't, though, because it's just a stupid legend.
Aye, I saw him one night when I was right shit-faced.
I actually do have one. Do you have anything to fortify old Doom Spiral? Tell me you got some... If you find any, I'd be extremely grateful. You too, Tiki.
Okay, let's step aside for a second. I have something I want to talk. I've been meaning to have a little chat with you about your sense of style. It's just, well, you look more like a high-flying businessman than a police officer. Oh, God. Don't start talking. You know the expression, the clothes make the man? The right outfit in the right situation can make all the difference in the world. Let's not get ahead of ourselves, detective.
A warm smile.
Anyway, we should probably get back to the case.
Hardcore.
The noxious odor emanating from the drunken man.
Don't you call her? Yeah! Don't call Abigail! Abigail! Don't call her!
Never thought you'd see such a thing in your life. But this guy's a little too drunk.
Don't call Abigail!
The man hiccups, then mumbles something unintelligible. He snorts and beckons you to lean.
Don't call Abigail! Don't call Abigail!
There's no use in yelling at drunks.
The drunk man starts coughing, a really disgusting. He does not sound well at all.
Don't you fucking call her! Hear me? Abigail? Don't call.
There was little chance he'd be a reliable.
Good to see you, friend. Do I have deals set up for you, buddy boy? So what do you want? I got smokes. They're cheap. Very cheap. I got Pilsner. Great deal. You won't get a better deal on that piss. Spirits I can let go for 300 real. I also have speed. And by speed, I mean amphetamine. Aye, by amphetamine I mean speed. Sure did, buddy boy. That's why I said amphetamine. I mean speed. Aye, that's what I said. Good, my man. Now what can I offer you? Oh, the system's been good to old Rosemary here, and I'm milking her like a bitch goat in the backyard. You see, friend, man makes his own luck, and I made mine real good. Got my hands on 3 bottles of liquor ex-squeeze. Sold 2 to the fellows around here, and bought cigarettes, bought beer, even bought a bit of speed. And look at me now. I got everything.
The hook. Where is it? I can't see it.
Of course. It is what it is, you know. What it's always been. People, buddy boy. It's the people. See, friend, it's real valuable. Worth every real, if you catch my drift. Got it from a bit of a business venture. You know what's crazy, actually?
He's finding it difficult to focus.
What? This guy. Oh, this is medicinal spirits, the good stuff. I got one of those scientific ampules a few months ago. Torpedo, they call it. It's supposed to keep a man from taking a drink. Didn't stop me for shit, that's for sure. 5 lemons with half a pack of butter and you're good to go. It really isn't. In a week, the goddamn kidneys started giving me all kinds of help. Finally, the missus took me to a private... Those arseholes charged me 4 real to remove the damn thing. But I came out on top after all. But the idiots left me alone in there. Now, I used to teach high school biology. I fight 3 cans of this blue medicinal stuff from the back room. Threw the snakes out and voila! What's left is this beautiful blue stuff. 98.7%. 2 I already sold to these fine gentlemen here. But this last one is yours for 3 real, if you want it. 3 real and it's yours for...
That's a much more reasonable price right there. Makes sense now.
Just make sure to enjoy...
Son, you will not kill yourself with this. Not today. So we're going to store this as a sellable item. Go sell it at the pawn shop for a profit.
In the civilized world, it's a custom to tip the shopkeep, friend.
Tequila Sunset.
You take the legal documents out of the envelope. The youth center cup. The bullet is still safely sealed away in a plastic bag. A police badge on which you see the photo.
That's just the serial number. Revachol, Lieutenant W. Freighter. The lieutenant is a rank above sergeant and below captain. It's the highest rank in the RCM that still does field work. The title of Freighter is added to your rank when you decline a promotion to a higher rank. In your case, captain. There are many reasons one would do this. The rank above you in your precinct's décomptage might be taken. Or sometimes promoted officers do not want to replace their superior. And sometimes they just prefer the type of police work available to their current rank. In your case, lieutenant. Décomptage is the hierarchical system employed by the Revachol. The lowest rank is junior officer, usually teenagers. Then there are the patrol officers, then sergeants, lieutenants, and then a captain. Kings like satellite officers and the additional freighter rank I already explained. No, I've been putting up with you because despite an unconventional approach, you are doing good police work. It matters more than driving your motor carriage into the sea.
He trusts you, for now. Try not to spoil it.
Yes, apparently you've had a rather successful career in the past, and this leads me to believe maybe your current situation is only temporary. Good.
Such a small yet precious thing. Expensive paper caught between thick...
4 months ago, a new badge usually comes with...
The pain in your chest. The case created a lot of edge you have to take. You're pretty sure you weren't doing well. But better. A lot can happen in 4 months. Especially in winter.
Yes, it's the designation of your precinct. 41. Like mine says 57. The 57th, it's a tough station to work in. You have all of Jamrock to cover. That district should... But then again, it's a legendary district, and a hell of a station too.
The badge in your hand shines as you rotate it, catching light. You see the man keeps winking, but the badge 8. Maybe, what do you think? It looks better on him. Don't be fooled. Wake up, the badge in your hand.
Harrier, that's long for Harry. So you are Harry. Evrard was half right. Probably not a lot of people know your full name. Whoever told him you're Harry... It's a wartime name, revolutionary. The kind mothers give their sons during trouble.
It's meant to keep you safe. From bullets, hunger, shrapnel, kidnappings, and worse.
Pleased to make your acquaintance, Harrier.
The badge in your hands shines as you rotate it, catching light. An intricate web of blue lines stretches. It still kind of looks...
one brutal motor carriage.
If I were a real skull now, I'd jack it, paint it in palm tree livery, then bottom light it, neon style.
A snazzy shit-ripped skullmobile like this would make a fine trophy. We could, like, hang fucking shrunken heads from the side mirrors. Cops' heads.
Yeah, tribal shit. A cop carriage like this would have proper...
While I appreciate the interest you take in my brutal motor carriage, I have...
It's just theoretical work, Copper. No basis in reality. Man, if we were certified...
I can tell you who we're not, cop. We're not...
Which is not to say that the skulls are bitches and...
The part of this presentation you want to take home with you, cop man, is we're not part of the skulls yet.
Oh yeah, Cindy's a right proper skull.
Yeah, a true artist of the future, just like Arno van Eyck.
By the way, if you see Cindy, give her our regards.
The lieutenant on your left is unusually lenient toward them.
Oh man, yeah, we're not fucking kids, man.
Be wary of the abyss.
It's a threat. An impotent threat of violence. But I don't. In fact, I dislike them so much I'm willing to drag you both.
Hey, there's no need for that. We're just talking here. Joking too.
Yeah, didn't you cops, like, have some questions about...
The Union does their share of policing in Martinez, at least where gangs are concerned. That's why there isn't much organized crime around.
Don't you worry about that. We're gonna make up for the deficit.
Yeah, we are. We're not franchise skulls. Well, not yet. Once we get our name out there, we'll have a chance to join them. Because we can be just as psycho and vicious.
But in a non-threatening and definitely legal way.
We'll fuck the system from the inside later. Just be cool now.
Right on, fuck. So what's happening now? What about them? Well, first off, it's a statement and not necessarily something that characterizes me as a person, even though the statement has character. And the word piss epitomizes the struggle taking place in the world. Things being defined as they seem, not as they are. And I guess it's also about communal spirit, the future, and truly appreciating our differences. Also, you've got to admit, it catches the eye. And since the Grand Piper is slowly but steadily moving towards basing the economy on it, attention, it is imperative that the medium itself convey the message. What I mean by this is, we are all piss and that the world is inherently meaningless.
Like I said before, many men keep searching for the one, for so-called true love, which is actually just obsession.
I'm wondering if the poetics come with the jacket, or are they derived from something else?
To catch a fish, you'll need to hurl the lure many times, and even then it isn't certain that you'll get anything. If you blow up the lake, though, you get more fish in a shorter time. And, for time is of the essence and fleeting ever so quickly, one must think of a way to fuck the whole world and not get caught up in fucking someone. Because when one fucks everything, he fucks nothing. And that, to me, feels glorious. Sticking your dick into the void.
Is it a coincidence that here we have 2 badass jackets and 2 badass cops?
Yes? Leather jackets adorned with immature writing? The ideology they convey helps the boys justify poor choices in life and fashion. I'm not a fan. What are you implying? I'm not sure I understand you, detective. Neither. Fine, if only to end this discussion. Theoretically, if I were a juvenile delinquent, if I were to already be down that path, I think peace is the stronger of the two statements. Seems about right, especially considering your hero.
That's an origin story for a dynamic duo right there.
So are we done here? Or you don't need us around for your secret whisper party, do you?
You don't know? What kind of cop are you?
The Skulls are the most vicious gang of the Besmertne,
The nastiest bunch of psychos ever. Jack and Carrie.
possessing an infinite amount of fuck-all swagger, infamous for their non-verbal
If a skull spots you, he will pull out his dagger and stab you without saying a word.
The lieutenant's voice is as calm as usual, a testament to the violence and death he's...
They usually occupy the burnt-out quarter in Jamrock, or you can find them loitering around the bright...
I can't wait to become a skull. Bottom light's a wretched aggressive. Murder? Yeah, sure. We'll gladly tell you everything we know about it. It was a man.
Also, he was hanged. He was hanged from a
Yeah, I mean...
These punks don't know anything.
Hey, stop right there. How does one...
fucking philosophy, man. You can do aggressive shit with philosophy. Justify shit.
These guys aren't scary. You're not scary. I have
why?
And what kind of business is that?
The lieutenant notices your agitation and opens his mouth.
Okay, we get it. You look like total shit. We look flashy as hell. What about it?
The lieutenant looks down at his bomber jacket and shrugs, obviously content with his uniform.
Fine. Fuck it. Here. Take it then. I can't handle this sad shit.
It's true. He simply can't. It's called empathy. Wow. I did not see...
Fuck that. You're not getting mine. My dad's a lawyer in La Delta. He'll have your bag.
No, he won't.
The lieutenant is lightly amused by the situation.
No. He's like a... You know what, cop? Fuck you. That's not what this is about. You're not getting my jacket.
Fuck him. We don't need his rich dad jacket anyway.
I'm not wearing that jacket. I don't think this case requires us to go undercover or raise hell. In fact, I don't think the jacket will be useful at all. I'm fine.
Look at this cute shit. How can we become skulls if you go around fraternizing with cops?
Fuck. I'm sorry, man. I just don't like confrontations, that's all.
The dented yellow mailbox greets you with its graffito and bullet holes in the front. You drop the white envelope in the darkness. It lands with a soft, about a week's worth of mail as collected in there. Probably did the right thing. You can't trust that slut Everard. You know.
All right, let's go back to Everard. If we don't mention anything to him, he won't know before it's too late.
The box seems eat shit pig, fucked by the coon, and St. G with a crown have been scribbled on it. Jenny is a whore, and best set mailbox also. The mail collection box seems cathartic, thankful even, and then suddenly you see it. Over all the other graffitos, someone has, using the tip of a very sharp knife, cut the... There. Do you smell that? Can you not detect that inimitable whiff of dissatisfaction and restlessness, that sense that the world is in need of dramatic, even violent reordering? What do you smell? The first thing that strikes you is the overwhelming brine. You imagine yourself underwater, 100-legged, but then the unmistakable reek of seagull shit hits you, buoyed along on the air currents. An acrid melody atop...
Everything in order, detective? You're developing your... You know what? I just leave you to it.
The lieutenant lacks your highly developed politico-olfactory cortex. The smell is undeniable, and it's coming. Certainement. A precocious communist youth. A symbol of a kind of a chance to establish contact with...
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire...
I don't believe it. I've never known those boys to have manners. There'll never be skulls, but their hearts are in the right place. Fat chance, but you can still do your part to revive.
She throws you a conspiratorial glance.
Have you noticed the quiet? Every so often, you might hear a gunshot pierce the air somewhere in Jam. This place is a sepulchre. We'll paint it red. We bring the raucous. You bring the sirens.
And what do you know about politics? Well, well.
Your olfactory department wants you to know that it accepts...
Sure. I know someone who'd love to talk that ideal, a right communist who runs a mega cool and very... I might... No. Keep your money. What?
A wicked grin extends, a laughing skull. Death hilarious.
Oink for me, piggy. Just once.
Wrong! This is exactly how I treat my little brother. There, that wasn't...
The lieutenant
Sounds like you're really serious. Steban's group meets only at night. In an old room in these apartments here. It just so happens you're in luck. Their weekly meeting is tonight. Poke your snout around sometime after 10 p.m. and you might just find them. Just that he's a real communist. Not like the play acting you've been doing. The rest, you'll have to see for yourself. Hold on. You didn't think it would... See, Steban's a bit on the paranoid side. He's got all these mega secret passphrases to keep out... Why would I? That would be so... Now, let's see if you're half... That's enough. Off with you then. Hello again, officers. Have you... And what do you know about politics? Pigs and moles, eh? Sounds like something out of a children's... Oh, whatever. Right, I'm a... No. Keep your...
a wicked, a laughing.
Oink for me, pig. There.
The lieutenant
Sounds like Steban's group. Poke your snout around sometime. Oh. See, Steban's a bit on the paranoid side. He's got all these mega secret... Sure, I do. Why would... Now, that's enough. Off with you.
Yes?
Give me a moment. What? No. Nobody tells me. If it ain't my business, I'll keep my nose out of. Think we'd all be better off if people kept their nose.
Vigilance officer? What can this old Caribbean... Ah, yes! King Philip the Third.
Oh, absolutely. At the mercy of a cocaine-snorting tyrant.
A superpower, feared and respected. A testament to what this country can be under the leadership of a decisively, without fear of offending the sensibilities of the frail and weak-minded among his subjects. This is something the insurgents never understood. A nation is only as strong as its leader. That's what...
Don't get started on that again. What?
The Carabiner doesn't reply, but...
Right.
It is such a pleasure to see you again, officer. How may I help? Sure, officer. No, thank you.
Hello again, esteemed officer, and welcome to Cursed? Who said that? Annette?
You see a set of tattered curtains.
Excuse me, officer. The back room is strictly for nothing. Now please go back to browsing the books. Don't you feel
She speaks almost as if she's trying to put a spell on you. Oddly enough, the more she tries to draw you away from the curtains, you see some kind of charm, an irregular polyhedron. Aside from poking at it suspiciously, there is nothing else to do with the fishhead charm at this time. The curtains just as you're about to pull apart the curtain.
Sir, don't touch that. I told you it's off limits for the customers. Parapsychologically speaking, we're done if you decide to open them.
She looks away, mumbling. Why is everyone always messing with the curtains? Why can't they just buy books like normal people?
No, it's just a storeroom for the employees, I told you. Now please, why? It's not like anyone was killed there. I am sorry, I don't mean to be so impolite. Just please don't go there. I can't allow that. You do? My God, even more reasons not to mess with the curtains. No, please just talk to me, officer. Come here.
Lies. There is something mysterious about the curtains, tattered with age and covered in dust, hang before you, as if taunting you.
Hello again, esteemed. I already told you. It's just a storage room for employees. Just let it go, officer. Go buy some goddamn books. You're supposed to be drawn to the books. It's just for decoration. Okay, fine. It's because this place is cursed. Just like, are you happy now, officer? Happy that you've ruined everything?
Host of hosts, she prays. Guard me and my honest business venture from the curse that lurks behind the curtains.
The curse is so much worse than you could imagine. It's a disease, eating at the very foundation. It's the curse of financial distress, of ruin and bankruptcy.
Didn't that curtain just move?
Everyone knows that all the previous companies in this building have sooner or later declared bankruptcy. And their malicious spirits. There's something wrong with this building, I can tell you. Ever since I arrived, I've sensed an eerie... It's not good to talk about the curse, not in detail. The negativism, it's dangerous.
Wow. Void Ray. Such wraiths may prove a formidable enemy. Suit up.
Yes, I've contacted numerous parapsychologists and even a pair of Simonese mediators. They provided me with the wards. The wards help to keep the doom at bay and protect us against the darkness that lies further in the building, even though now I fear. Oh, this? No, it's a special Himian amulet. There are numerous spells cast throughout the store. I had the books anointed with a different inducement spell, for example. It's guaranteed to boost sales 15%. Most certainly not. I don't want anyone who's not familiar with the psychic...
My liege, you know what this case calls for? A para-detective. Time to fire up the old lie machine.
And I am his private partner, John Shaw. Together we run the preeminent postal surveillance firm in Revachol. Once we've caught our client's spouse in flagrante delicto...
Some penetrating...
What nonsense are you two going on about? This is not relevant at all. And besides, my husband would never do such a thing. We are proper people. How can I believe you after all that foolishness?
Our sincere apologies, ma'am. No more nonsense. We are offering to assist you with your troubles. Pro bono. That's right. When not spying on the love affairs of the ultra-rich, we...
Oh my God! Will you stop with that incessant yammering? It's too much. If you wanted the key to the back door, you could have just asked for it. Absolutely not.